Happy Canada Day, everybody. So, I know that Canadian booktubers are kind of like a minority here, it feels like, but I just wanted to put that out there. And if you guys are not Canadian or you don't celebrate Canada Day, then I hope that you guys just have a really good 1st of July, because the weather here is really warm, and hopefully it is wherever you are. Today, I'm going to just kind of mention that I did not do well with my daily updates. I did 2 updates for the first 3 days, and I just kind of slacked off after that. I now know that doing update videos at the end of the day is a big no-no for me. Evenings do not work, so perhaps I will try either mornings or afternoons next, and if neither of those work, then I guess I'm just not an update kind of person. So let's get started with day 1 of the Read-a-Thon. To start off with, I read the rest of Deadly Cool by Gemma Halliday. I read the last 94 pages of this, and I so enjoyed this book. I cannot even describe my feelings at this point in time. Hopefully when I review it, you'll see something more than just me gushing over how much I enjoyed this book, because I really did. And I look forward to perhaps picking up the second one sometime in the future when I buy it. After I finished that, I then picked up, let me grab it off of the pile because it's actually on the bottom of the pile, the first 114 pages of The Host by Stephanie Meyer. And I understand why a lot of people mention the first 100 pages are really slow. If you're expecting it to be a lot of action and a lot of like different characters or love interests you get introduced to, that's not going to happen in the first 100 pages. It's really just getting used to what the world is now like, inhabited by aliens, and a bit of a road trip, and really no love interest at all. So if that's going to bother you, of course the first 100 pages are probably going to really drag for you. But I didn't find that at all. I then went and read 170 pages of Uncommon Criminals. This book is like candy to me. I can get through it without even having to break to eat, because it just pulls me in so much, and I get sucked into the story, and I can just picture myself living this kind of lifestyle, although probably not. Anyway, that was the last book that I ended up reading in day 1, which gave me a total page count of 378 pages. I finished 1 book, and it was a total page count of 378 pages as of day 1, as I mentioned. Now, when we move into day 2, that was Tuesday, and I started off by reading the last 184 pages of Uncommon Criminals. So good! So good! If you guys are wondering, is this going to live up to High Society? Yes. It lives up to it, and it bypasses it in my mind. So I didn't think that was possible, but it did. And after I finished Uncommon Criminals, I went back and I read 106 pages in The Host. Yet again, I just wanted to slowly read through it, like little by little every day. So 106 pages, and yeah, I was still enjoying it. I was still enjoying it. And then I picked up the last book of the day because I had about an hour left, and that was Artemis Fowl by Ian Colfer. I read the first 30 pages, and I was kind of on the fence. I was kind of like, I don't really know how I feel about this book. It's not fully pulling me into the story. So there's that. But I was finished for the day. I needed to go and catch up on some Z's. So at the end of the day, I had a total page count of 320 pages. Not too shabby. I had completed yet another book, so that put me at 2 books in total for the Read-a-Thon, and it bumped up my total page count for the Read-a-Thon to 698 pages. I was kind of shocked with that number at the end of the second day. Then day 3 began Wednesday, and I decided to start the day by finishing Artemis Fowl, which was another 249 pages. And this book really dragged for me. To be completely honest, like, it really was slow. It was probably about 8 or 9 o'clock that night that I actually finished Artemis Fowl, so that put another book completed on my list. And I then picked up the host and read 71 pages, and I was just so happy to pick this up after Artemis Fowl that I just felt like I got through the 71 pages in no time at all. And that was pretty much it for Wednesday. It gave me a total page count of 320 pages yet again, so I'm pretty impressed. I was still going over the 300 page mark. I had completed another book, which put my total books completed for the Read-a-Thon at 3 as of Wednesday, and it put me over the 1,000 page mark for the total page count for the Read-a-Thon at that point. It was 1,018 pages, which I think was awesome. I made it to 1,000 pages in 3 days, which I didn't think that I would make it that far. So then we start day 5, and that's not the day that it was day 4. Day 4 was Thursday, and I decided to start reading around 12:30 a.m. and I read until about 1:45, and I read the first couple chapters of Girl in the Arena by Lacey Haynes, and then I woke up that morning and I ended up reading the rest of the book, which basically I read this entire book in less than 12 hours, and that was 324 pages. And the print isn't even that large. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. But I finished this book, so I completed another book for the Read-a-Thon. And I went back and I read 69 pages in the host. Yet again, I was just flying through these pages, but I decided to put it down and read another book because it was kind of close to me wanting to crash and sleep. And I read the first 28 pages of A Spy in the House by Y.S. Lee. And that was it. I was pretty much done after 28 pages. My eyes were drooping. I was like, I need to sleep. So my total page count for the day, I think, was my highest page count all week, and that was 421 pages. And I mentioned, I am now at 4 books that I completed during the week, and that put me at 1,439 pages for the overall Read-a-Thon, which I think is a really good number. Friday, let's go. Day 5 of the Read-a-Thon, I hit the wall. You know how somebody who maybe is like walking through the desert, they're dehydrated, they're stumbling, and they've got someone with them, and they're like, yeah, come on, we can make it to that hallucination we've got going on, we can make it. And you're like, no, just go on without me, and you're all self-sacrificing. That was me on day 5. That was me on Friday. I started off the day by reading 67 pages of the host, yet again enjoying it, working my way through that, and I basically spent the rest of the day doing other things because I was like, I don't know if I can read anymore. And then around 4 o'clock that afternoon, I decided to pick up A Spy in the House yet again, and I read the last 307 pages of this in about 5 hours, which just kind of blew my mind. But this book was such a fast read. It was so well done. Like, the print is larger, and I don't know why I haven't read this sooner because it was so good. And I'm really glad that I finished off day 5 with this book because I realized I really just didn't want to rush through books. I just wanted to read at my own leisure. So that was yet another book that I completed during the Read-a-Thon, and that put my books completed at a total of 5 books. I read a grand total of 374 pages that day, which put me at 1,813 pages in total for the Read-a-Thon. Saturday, day 6. We're getting there. We're in the home stretch. We started off the day by doing the RTBC live show for Festival by Serena Valentino, and Maud and I were talking during that little bit afterwards because we just wanted to talk a bit, and we were asking each other how we were doing with things. And then I went and we got back to reading, and I really enjoyed what I was reading that day. So let me grab this next one. I started off the day by reading The Iron Daughter, and I read 85 pages in this book on Saturday. And I then put it down because I was like, man, this is just, I'm really emotional right now, so I need to move to something else. What is the other book that I moved to, you might ask? I think you've seen it up here every single day so far, and that is The Host by Stephenie Meyer. I was really enjoying it, and I got to the 44-page point, and I was just like, do you know what? I need to put this down. I'm done for the day. I just want to watch a movie. That's what I did. I sat down and I literally forced my mother to watch Transformers with me, the first one, because why not? I love Transformers. So that was it for Saturday. I read 129 pages. I didn't finish any book on Saturday, but I was at 1,942 pages. Now, backtrack a bit, I did forget to mention on Thursday and Friday I participated in the reading sprints that Maud had on Twitter. She had 1 o'clock p.m. my time on Thursday and the same time on Friday, and we both read, and that was a lot of fun. I've never done a reading sprint before, so that was interesting. So I just wanted to put that out there. I really enjoyed those. And finally, we can move to day 7, Sunday. This day was quite interesting. It was really busy too, so I'm surprised by the amount that I read. But I started off the day, let me pick this up, by reading the final 90 pages in this book. 90 pages left the final day. I read this entire book by the end of this read-a-thon. I was so happy. I was like, yeah! I felt so empowered. I felt like I needed to maybe like run through the street and yell, I finished the host! I finished the host! I finished the host! But I didn't do that. Instead, I decided to pick up, let me pick it up again off the floor, no pun intended there, The Iron Daughter by Julie Kagawa, and I read 14 more pages into this, and I was like, I'm still too emotional to continue on with this story. I'm not gonna get into what I was emotional over because that would be spoiling things, but I was like, I'm a little still upset by what happened. So I only read 14 pages, and then I didn't read anything else until 10:45 that night. And you're probably thinking, Rebecca, it's 10:45 at night. You haven't read since about 3 o'clock, and you decide at 10:45 to read some more. Well, I decided that I wanted to read a fairy tale. So I picked up my Grimm's Complete Fairy Tales, and you guys haven't seen this for a while. That's currently where I am. I really haven't progressed very far, but I decided to read a fairy tale in this. Turns out the fairy tale I read was 1 page. 1 page fairy tale. Man, that was brilliant. That was what I was looking for. So I put it down and I was like, I still want to read something, but I don't want to read something that I've already read. So I picked up something that I'm slowly working through. I am enjoying, but I just hadn't picked it up in a while because I wasn't too sure about wanting to like jump back into the story. But I picked up the 13.5 Lives of Captain Blue Bear by Walter Morrows, and I read, let me look at my page, 24 pages in this. And by that point in time, it was 11:30, my eyes were drooping, and I was like, I am finished with the read-a-thon. I finished strong, just like I started strong, and I'm going to bed. And I slept so peacefully on Sunday night, and then Monday morning, the read-a-thon was over. So, on Sunday, I read 129 pages, and I finished 1 book, which put me at a grand total of 6 books during the read-a-thon, although I think this could perhaps count as 7, but we'll go for 6 just to be technical. And that put me at a total page count of 2,071 pages for the overall read-a-thon. I'm impressed. I do not think this was a failure. I don't think that I had like a really upsetting number of books I've read. I'm really happy with the outcome, so because I don't think this is a failure, I'm just really happy. Let me know how you guys did. I hope that you guys just had fun with this and that you just were going at whatever pace you wanted to do, and that you guys lived up to everything that you hoped that you could do during the week, and you just had a lot of fun, because I know I did. And I look forward to co-hosting this again next year. So I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, go and pick up a random book and read. Bye, guys.